So technically, this vlog is on the 16th because it's 12:17 in the morning, but I tend to consider my days to be from when I wake up and when I go to bed. So it's still the 15th as far as I'm concerned. So my wife and I got to celebrate Valentine's Day today. Like I said, yesterday's vlog, I think it was yesterday, yeah, that we were going to go out today because of not having to get up for work in the morning and stuff, and we could stay out late. And we had a nice dinner and we walked around and she did some jewelry shopping. We didn't buy anything, but we went and saw Silver Linings Playbook. And I didn't know what to expect of this movie. It was between that or Safe Haven. I didn't really want to see a super sappy love movie, I guess, which I technically ended up going to see. But man, Bradley Cooper is quickly becoming one of my favorite actors. He's like starting to rank up there with Tom Hanks as far as I'm concerned. I love every movie that he's in. And he's so versatile. He plays so many good characters. And granted, he doesn't change his persona for any of those characters. Like, it's not like, Tom Hanks really sucks you into the character and you forget you're looking at Tom Hanks. And every time you look at Bradley Cooper, you're like, okay, yeah, I'm looking at Bradley Cooper. But I really, really, really like his acting style. And this movie, I think, really hits close to home. And if you've not seen the previews for Silver Linings Playbook, basically it's this teacher who was married to a teacher, and he came home one day and caught her in the shower with another teacher, and he like snaps, he loses his mind, and he practically beats the guy to death, like I guess near death. And so instead of going to jail, they plea bargain temporary insanity. So he goes to an insane, I shouldn't say insane asylum, but he goes to an institution for 8 months, and then he comes back and he's trying to acclimate himself, but he's totally obsessed over his ex-wife, and there's this new girl, if typical, right? But he's clearly not sane at the time that he gets back into the world. He's clearly still just completely compulsive and obsessive over um, the ex-wife, or technically they're still married. I think they're not divorced yet. And man, just watching him, it really makes me, there's I've talked about the temporary insanity of losing weight or losing weight fast through gastric bypass, and just seeing all that really makes me wonder if I was to take some sort of a psych evaluation, how would I rank? Because I'll tell you right now, I'm incredibly smart, and I'm not trying to float my own boat, but there are just some things I'm proud of, and for me, one of them is the fact that I'm incredibly smart. I'm incredibly intuitive. I can solve things that a lot of the times don't seem solvable. I mean, I had a friend one time post a picture on Facebook, and it was nothing more than his shoe. It was a close up of his foot and his shoe, and I could see the ground, like here's the picture, and you see his foot and the ground. And I looked at that for a split second, and I even responded back, and I said, hey, I know exactly where you're at. And it was nowhere near here. I mean, it was far away. But because I have a photographic memory, and I have a freaky photographic memory. I mean, I can remember uh, we used to do I used to do layout mapping and stuff of part of my job, and we went to Vandenberg Air Force Base. If you guys don't know what Vandenberg is, it's where they shoot a lot of the satellites and rockets for the United States and various satellite companies and stuff. It's a military base, but you shoot rockets up into space, and we mapped out that entire base. And months, and I mean months after, I could tell you where anything was on the base. I could map it, I could draw it, because my mind just, it sees something and it takes a picture. And I read somewhere a long time ago that people that have that kind of memory tend to have almost like a slight uh, I don't want to say autism, but there's a switch in your brain that is different than others, and people with photographic memory are like borderline either crazy or just borderline something wrong in their brain. And for me, I'm very fidgety. Like, I'm sure you guys have noticed in my vlogs, I'm always like doing this with my fingers, or I move when I'm looking around. My brain doesn't stop. And so this movie really made me feel like I was crazy, because you hear people talk about, oh, you've got to unwind, you've got to unplug, you've got to disconnect, right? You've got to just like let your brain shut off and rest for a while. My brain doesn't do that. My brain is constantly going, and it goes at this just crazy rate. It's just like boom, boom, boom. I'm thinking about this, I'm thinking about that, and it just doesn't stop. And my wife will tell you, I don't sleep. And when I and I'm really putting this out there, guys, and I'm doing this because I think a lot of my viewers might be able to relate. Because who knows how many of these people, who knows how many of you guys are going to watch this right now when it goes up, and it's 12:22 in the morning my time. So, and my viewers are all over the world, but I have a feeling that the moment I put this up, it's going to get probably 5 or 10 views like instantly. A lot of my videos do, at least on the vlog side. But when I sleep, I don't sleep. I don't believe that my brain ever truly reaches REM, because my wife will tell you, I when I sleep, I hallucinate. I have like night fits and rages. And I'm not like beating her up, but I mean, I'm just like the other day I was standing up on I turned the light on. I was standing up on the bed and I was like clawing at the freaking ceiling, and it makes no sense. And so this movie really truly made me feel like, one, I was insane because I kind of could relate to a lot of the things that he was talking about, but two, that maybe I'm also a bit normal because it seems like that's become a bit of the norm. And it seems like to be really smart, or to have some sort of a super ability like my ability of withstanding, or withstanding, but having the extremely photographic memory. I mean, my youngest memory, I don't even think I was 2 yet. And a lot of people can't remember back that far. And so, but the fact that I can't sleep because my brain doesn't allow me to, and even when I take sleeping medications, I just go into like a weirder state of night sleepwalking, sleep talking. I mean, weird things. And so, I mean, I've woken up in like other parts of the house, just having no clue what the hell I'm doing. And a lot of you guys, I know you're saying, or go get a sleep study, or go see a psychiatrist, or go whatever. That's not cheap, and my insurance doesn't cover that stuff. So I just basically live with it. And I haven't been like dangerous, but I've definitely been sometimes wondering how much I'm all there. And so hopefully none of you guys judge me for that. I think I've got a pretty level head when I'm awake anyway, but I can't. I wish sometimes I could just turn my brain off and I could just stop and be like free of myself for just like an hour, right? If I could just not be me for like an hour and let my brain relax, I feel like I would be a lot better. And I just want to say too, for the last 3 days, I didn't have any Starbucks, and people were going, "Oh, 3 days, whatever." But that, like I said, that was my addiction. That was what I became addicted to when I kicked the food addiction. And so I went 3 days without it, and I'm telling you right now, I was moody. I was pissed off and angry. When I was playing Battlefield last night, I think my friends got a little freaked out because I was slamming shit. I was just like beating the shit out of my desk. And it dawned on me today, I was like, holy crap, I'm probably going through withdrawals, and didn't even realize it. So I told my wife today, I said, I'm going to do a little experiment. And we went out today and we were walking around the mall, Victoria Gardens. It's a really nice outdoor shopping center, very nice. And we went to the movies and walked around and stuff. And I said, we're going to go get coffee. And I said, we're going to do it because, one, this is our Valentine's Day and we're allowed to cheat. But I want to see how my body reacts to it. And in 3 days, I guess technically it was 4 days because I didn't have any since Monday night. So yeah, I guess 4 days, 4 solid days of no Starbucks and no coffee. It means none of that concentrated sugar syrup or the whipped cream or any of that shit. Because their coffees are like really fluffed up with a lot of extra stuff. If you get like a latte or something like that, and that's what I normally get. And less than halfway through it, man, I started feeling sick. Like I started getting sharp, stabbing pains in my stomach, which is the normal feeling when I eat sugar, by the way. For me, it's like very sharp and uncomfortable. I started sweating. I was getting shaking, and it was like that negative reinforcement. And I was so happy that happened. I told my wife, I said, all right, that's it. I'm done. I'm not drinking this stuff anymore, because it only took 4 days for my body to say, hey, this is bad. We don't want this. And so I was given that negative reinforcement. And now when I think about coffee, it's like if you've ever been super, super drunk on a particular alcohol, your brain always associates that alcohol now with being sick. So for me, like a Long Island iced tea, which was one of the first drinks I ever got like completely smashed on to where I threw up like 3 or 4 times. And so now when I think Long Island or I smell it, it's like, oh my God, I don't want that. That's garbage. That's kind of how I feel about Starbucks now after only 4 days, which is good because it's super expensive to keep buying, $5 coffees every single day, every single morning. Uh, the fact that I have that negative reinforcement is just kind of like a sigh of relief because it's a lot easier to kick something if you are getting negative reinforcement of it. So I know this vlog was really kind of out there, and I'm really questioning my sanity as of right now. And the fact that I even do this whole YouTube thing makes me feel kind of crazy as it is. But I didn't mind putting this out there on the vlog because it's funny. I've got almost 4,000 subscribers on my technology channel, and I've got just under 400, so just about 10% of my 10% of the subscriber count I have on my tech channel, I have on the vlog channel. But I feel more connected to you guys than I do with my regulars on the tech side. I think because a lot of us, you guys watch because the things I talk about, we relate. And this vlog has gone all the way up to 11 minutes. Holy crap! So I'm gonna get on out of here. I'm gonna play some games, trying to wind a little bit, and I will see you guys in tomorrow's vlog. And I appreciate you guys watching. I really, truly appreciate the support. I like seeing the same names over and over, and I appreciate the fact that you guys are listening and watching me ramble, talking to a webcam, because that's another reason why I feel a little crazy, right? I'm interacting with you guys, but you're not really there, at least not now. So I'm talking to you without really talking to you, which kind of feels like I'm in a paradox.